Make time for Haste, a game of Dum-Dums and Dragons. Haste is a quick-play, cooperative role-playing game. The adventure runner for this campaign is the adventurous Marcus Lake.
Let's get going. Let's hurry. Haste.
Last time, our party of dragon repo specialists were contracted to repossess a dragon from Count Singuinous, the undead. Using the confusion of a wedding, our heroes infiltrated the Count's castle, bamboozled a dragon-sized floral horse float off of drunken party gnomes.
Well, you boys, you've been through enough today. Why don't you take the break?
Hit the buffet.
Hit the buffet.
Hit the buffet.
Do what you gotta do.
One of the gnomes in the back is like, open bar! And it's feeling very...
Then almost immediately set it on fire and pushed it into a crowd.
Watch our first trick. Exactly.
And
Perfect
with
time.
that, the horse covered in lilies bursts into magnificent flame.
Ta-da!
I'm going to immediately run to the side and push it towards that tent.
There are great cheers.
And now, on to our adventure.
Indeed, it rolls and
Ramping up tension.
people are excited and, it starts to dawn on some of the crowd just where exactly it's going. Looking down, you can see the opening of the tent, right? Mm-hmm. And inside, performing on stage, seems to be a gigantic brain with four little clawed feet.
It is not going to like this.
I think
In my experience, sentient brains hate being set on fire.
Dirk is going to take a bow and head towards the dragon.
Okay, and just to be clear, you can't see the dragon at this point. You can only see the mansion.
Right.
Yeah, we know it's in the courtyard of the mansion.
Sure.
Yeah, okay. So I think we
head
start
that way.
heading towards the mansion.
I think front door.
I'm going to create a poof. I would like to create an illusionary double of myself, and I'd like that illusionary double to continue the magic show.
Ah, excellent.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, yes, this is also audio, so you're still standing there talking about the...
Right.
You do that.
Okay.
Create an illusory double of yourself.
Illusory double.
Illusory.
Illusory.
Yes.
And Dirk punches it.
That ruins it.
Fist might go through it, but Dirk has just remembered that my flaw is that I am afraid of magic.
Damn it. Oh, this is going to make this so awkward.
I'm quite frightened.
So Dirk notices that there's two of them and punches one of the two
punches
of them?
one of them. It
Let's
might...
flip a coin. Hold on.
Sorry, Richie. Just for the sake of the game.
Well, yeah, this is important.
So, you must be heads.
I'm
Right.
probably, yeah.
So,
Yeah.
Punch the
Dirk's
illusion.
fist passes through the illusory image of you.
I'd like the illusory double to go, ta-da!
Yeah, exactly. Ta-da!
You are already gone.
Yeah.
Into the crowd.
I'm
Meanwhile-
I'm pulling Dirk away.
So,
Did you see that, honey? That was terrible.
so as you're weaving your way, through the crowd. Now, do you want to go directly a beeline for the front steps, for the doors there? Or do you want to make your way around the right side, which there seems to be a garden there, and there's some of maybe the closer family entourages in that garden? Or do you want to go around to the left way, which seems to be more like kind of the servants' entrance and catering and so on? So forth.
My experience at these sort of aristocratic events is that they don't pay attention to the staff. So we could probably wander our way through that way, but my man knows how to talk to plants, and there's plants over there, so I don't know.
Well, my instinct was you go through the servants' entrance because, like you said, no one pays attention to servants. But who does take orders is the servants typically, and so if we just pretend to be important,
Right.
maybe they'll get out of our way.
Absolutely.
Sure.
So
Okay.
it sounds like you're leaning to the left.
Yeah.
Right. So as you make your way through the crowd, you hear people mumbling about, is the flaming horse part of a little cerebellum show? Or where? So you make your way around the left, and you get out of the crowd, and there is a group of zombies here. Okay? Mm-hmm. And they're wearing white overalls.
White
right?
zombies? Sorry.
Yeah, white overalls. Some of them have pink smudges on their white overalls,
Sure.
and some of them have mint smudges.
Ah.
There seems to be some kind of argument, right?
Ooh, okay.
And
It's just sort of a grunting, moaning argument.
yeah, well, some of them can speak better than others. One says,
The princess want pink house.
and then the other one says,
The groom's mother want mint house.
You mentioned that the painters appeared to be in competition. Who was winning?
it seems like the majority of the house has been hastily painted pink. You see that there are several ladders up against the walls here. Some of them near open windows on the second story. Also, beyond this side of the house, you can see the servants' entrance where people are bringing in catering and whatnot. What would you like to do?
Gosh, that ladder seems like it could come in handy later on.
Yeah. I grab a bucket of pink paint and I throw it at the house and say, "It's her special day!" And I go up.
Okay. Yeah.
You're gonna follow his
Following my
lead?
darling.
Follow. Yeah.
All
I'm going to grab a random bucket of paint and then just follow along with.
Okay, could I have an agility roll, please?
You should have painted it blue, and then I'm gonna slow down.
I got 15.
Okay, so you easily make your way up the ladder.
I don't need to use my hands.
Monkey see, monkey do. Everyone else has no problem just simply following up the ladder. Who's the last one in through the window?
I'll go last.
Okay, so as you're about to step over the sill, you hear one of the zombies say, "Hey!" You have stepped into a wonderfully well-appointed antechamber of some kind. There's a divan, there's a credenza, there's a wardrobe, there's a lovely ornate rug shipped from the far reaches of the dimensions. There's a wooden door closed, leads out into some kind of hallway, you presume, near the center of the mansion, and then there is a doorway that leads probably to the main bedchamber here, you believe. In fact, you can hear from this bedchamber kind of a soft, sorrowful whimpering.
Somebody's getting pressured to get married, I think.
Sounds like it could be.
That's what, in my experience in those royal situations, that's probably what's going on. Hey, I am going to ask, Dirk, do you think you could maybe close that window? Because as we were coming through, I think maybe somebody might have noticed that...
honey, push the ladder over.
Yeah.
Well, they might have... Wait, before we do that, they have more than one ladder, and they might notice that. Maybe if we just close the window and lock it?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, yeah, that's probably... The subtlety is better, yeah.
All right.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, window's closed.
You would have pushed that ladder real good.
And
Thank you, darling.
so you seal off the fiery scream from a distance.
Yeah.
Because the horse makes an impact with little Sorobel.
Hell of a wedding out there. So
Yeah, exactly. I bet few people are having a great time. Maybe others not so much.
all
but
those
sure.
lava people are like...
Yeah, the lava people are like...
The whimpering stops suddenly at the sound of the windowsill ceiling, and the door to the bedchamber opens.
Oh.
I'm gonna do your customary royal kind of a wave greeting. Who is this person? Can I see who it is as I go into my deep bow?
Well, there is a vaguely masculine groom-like appearing entity here. Very well dressed, with a large corsage. Doesn't have what you would normally assume a human-like creature would have for a head. Okay. Instead has a large black charred cauldron for a head,
Sure.
with a lid on the top of it.
Right.
Of course.
There's an open grill face like you would see maybe on a furnace or an oven of some kind. And inside of the cauldron, through the grill, you can see a flickering flame.
Ah.
Who are you?
Says the flame.
We're the florists.
Florists.
But there was a little bit of an incident outside. They wanted us to come in here and see if we could get to the dragon. because we were suggested that maybe the dragon
Would
could
have
help,
flowers.
would help with the situation in some way.
It's unnerving, but somehow you can tell that it looks you up and down dismissively. You
Okay.
can't really see any eyes. No, all four of you.
Okay.
And it whimpers.
Where's the flowers then? If you're florist, where's the flowers?
I have one behind my ear because my spouse picked one for me earlier. It's a
did.
little bloody, but it is
did.
behind my ear.
Okay.
This
you
is
like
just
to
an
present
example
that flower?
of
Yeah, I
of-
do. It's right here.
This is an example of all the flowers that we have, but like I said, I mentioned before, there was a minor incident. Nothing for you to be concerned about. Certainly, you can go back to whatever. This is an important day for everyone, and you need to do what you need to do. But we need to do what we need to do, and right now we need to find the dragon.
Maybe,
possible.
maybe you could help me.
Okay, sure. That's what we're here for. We are servants.
Yeah, I need to get out. You seem to have come in through the window, and I need to leave here. Is there a
There's
way
actually a
back
ladder.
down?
There's a ladder hooked up right to the window. If you open the window, you could pop right down that ladder if you want.
So he gingerly walks out into the room that you're all in and makes towards the window.
Do you know where the dragon is?
Yeah, before you hop out the window, could you point us in the direction?
Of the dragon?
Yeah, well, the courtyard where the flowers, I think, are supposed to go.
Oh,
Oh, well, that
that's
would've
where they
been
should have
easier.
gone.
He
Oh.
indicates the door that leads out to the hallway
Yeah.
and kind of
We could've
it
snuck
seems
the
to indicate
dragon
a
out
leftward
inside the
motion
horse.
from it.
We shouldn't have set it on fire now.
We're gonna snake the dragon outside of the. Oh, how big is this dragon?
How big was the horse?
I don't know. You know what? Hindsight 2020. That's all on fire right
At least
now.
we get to light something
Yeah.
on fire.
Let's do it.
We'll get out of here.
We're making
somehow.
forward progress and burning the bridges on our way along,
Right.
and then making our way back out. We're not quite sure how.
He walks over to the window and awkwardly bumps his cauldron against it as he attempts to look out and then opens the sill.
Do we hear any noises after he opens the
there's
sill?
Screaming and a lot of chaos coming from the front of the mansion.
Let's just go the opposite way.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should head
Yeah.
to. Okay, so I open the door and I head to the right
Okay.
because my character has no sense of direction. That's my heroic flaw.
Yes. You open up the door and you see that this leads out onto, I'm not sure what to call, like a catwalk above a great hall.
Oh yeah,
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
like an indoor balcony.
Yeah, sure. And there's a mirror to this on the far side of the Great Hall, and you can hear like a fountain in here, and off to the right you can see some stairs that lead down. So, despite your bad direction, you actually seem to end up going in the right direction.
Yeah.
You know.
I think down to get to the courtyard.
Yes, indeed, because the stairs come down. Okay, and so they create kind of a diamond opening in the center there, the middle of the stairs, right? And within that, there's a fountain. And it is a fountain of blood, of course.
Of
course.
Because this is the Count's mansion. So.
Yeah. Well, see, I was gonna say like a fountain of water would be dangerous for the groom's family.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
Yes. So once again, the Great Hall itself at the bottom of these stairs, do you want to begin to descend these or do you want to sneak? Because the Great Hall is crisscrossed with ghoulish and skeletal maids and butlers entertaining people within the chambers that are beneath either side of the Great Hall.
Okay, so this
Dining
is
room.
just sort of like a traffic zone that we're
Yeah,
passing
it's
through.
big. It's kind of an atrium sort of. There's some twilight that comes in, no sun, obviously.
I feel like we
Of
can
course.
just sort of bust right through. towards
Yeah, I
the
mean, we've
courtyard.
been going this
Yeah.
well so
Yeah.
far. Why would we get, like, super sneaky at
Yeah, I
this
feel like
point?
sneaking would just
Right.
make us look suspicious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
So,
gonna walk with confidence.
We're just going to walk with confidence? Are we going to go down to the bottom and walk across, or are we going to go across the balcony?
I think that we have to go down
Yeah.
to get to
Yeah.
the
Yep.
door.
Okay, yeah, all right.
So you strut confidently down the stairs. You make it onto the floor of the Great Hall. This is kind of a very antique green marble, white marble checkerboard thing happening here.
Sure.
And you've got your butlers crisscrossing. One of them walks by. He's got a handful of big carrots, right? And he's walking towards the double doors, and he's dropped a couple of carrots, and you kind of fall into his wake as he makes it.
Sure.
I'm going to pick up one of
yeah,
those
I'm
carrots.
picking those carrots up.
Yeah.
Okay, so each of you gets a carrot.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
And you can kind of hear this ghoulish butler saying,
Mistress needs the carrots for her service donkey.
Service donkey.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Service donkey. Does that sound like a dragon?
That sounds like a dragon.
So she passes through the double doors and out into the twilight. Beyond this, you can see, indeed, there definitely seems to be a courtyard out there, and you can hear a very domineering, commanding voice
Oh.
saying, I explicitly requested that you bring me the finest of charcoal for our guests, as you know that they consume charcoal at an unbelievable rate, and they will not settle for second-rate vine charcoal. We need only the best briquettes. And you bring me this charred log, this swamp log that you seem to have ignited for 2 moments, and we're going to serve them this? This is ridiculous. So you see there's obviously a Contessa. She has a huge dark blood red and white lace covered layer cake that she's wearing, with a big V neck and a huge, I want to say like bouffant, I don't know, hairstyles.
Yeah, bouffant.
Sure.
Yeah, but so she's kind of the nodal point here within the courtyard of a flux of various undead servants.
Sure.
She
Directing
also
traffic?
made of fire. She also made
No.
of
She's undead.
This is the mother of the bride.
Oh, Mother of the Bride.
Oh.
Yes, the Contessa.
Contessa
Yes. Singuinous.
Singuinous?
Yes.
Singuinous.
Yeah.
You can kind of like
I didn't write it phonetically
as the
enough.
potion is fading, you seem to recall that her name is Nellie, and she has an invisible service donkey.
An invisible service donkey. And that is not the dragon.
No.
No.
I
The
mean,
donkey isn't a dragon.
No.
I know that.
like
I have a -2 wits, but I know.
it's
Yeah.
entirely possible that it's a euphemism, but not for the dragon.
Right.
Off to the left, you can see there's some kind of well. Off to the right, you see some kind of large, shadowy, lizard-like thing underneath a colonnade.
Does that look like a dragon?
It does.
I head toward the well
Yeah.
because I have no sense of direction.
Okay, you step out, and immediately she says, "You! Get over here."
Oh, you're in trouble now.
Okay.
I walk over there.
I assume that you have already received the vows of both the groom and my daughter.
Yes,
So you are prepared for the ceremony to begin. You will be presiding, yes?
of course.
You're the saint that
Yeah.
we ordered?
Yep.
Right this way, please. And she turns and begins leading him out the other direction from the
I
courtyard.
turned to
Well,
you guys.
he's
Go
dead.
get the dragon. Get the dragon. Don't worry
Yep.
about me.
Yeah.
I don't.
We're
need
going
to.
to abandon Cranston.
Okay.
Nameless was like, oh, I
wasn't
wasn't
planning
anyway.
In my mind, it's like if I keep her busy, they don't have to worry about her.
She leads you out onto the back porch, and you see that there's an array of chairs beyond the porch, right? For there, the one side with flaming, smoldering people, and another side, with the undead preparing, slowly being seated at
Yeah.
this point. So she leads you up towards the lectern. Meanwhile, back in the courtyard, indeed, there is some kind of shadowy lizard-like figure underneath of a colonnade off to the north of the courtyard here.
I'm headed that way.
Okay.
I'm gonna take my carrot and very demonstratively wave it around in the air like I was in, say, Jurassic Park, and then
you hear some clip-clopping.
and I throw it as far the other direction as I can to see if I can get an assessment
Distract
of
them.
where it's going, how big it is.
Okay, so you accidentally throw it right down the well.
Oh.
Yeah.
Or maybe you don't, if you'd like to spend one of your dumb luck points.
I don't know. I feel like I was pretty impressed by the fact I kind of
That
under
you
my
sunk
breath.
it in one?
Under
Yeah.
my breath, I'm like 2 points.
Yeah.
Right.
So yeah, Kobe.
I mean, how far away were you?
Yeah,
Could've
could
been
have
three.
been a 3. Could have been a 3. Yeah, what the heck? I'm gonna let the chips fall where they may. I'm gonna see if that donkey goes down that well after the
Okay,
Yeah. I will say I also have a carrot, but
Right.
I'm oblivious. I probably have no idea. That
Okay.
I may ask you for your
Got
carrot.
one
For
backup
right now,
carrot.
I'm
Yeah.
seeing if this plays out as the way I want to.
Yeah, no, you hear some clip-clopping. You hear the splish of the carrot hitting the surface of the water below. You hear kind of an echo tube hee-haw, and then a larger splash.
Nice.
Right? And so you see a figure emerge from the double doors that you had come through.
Okay.
He has to kind of duck down to step out.
Ooh.
And it's a tall, maybe a 8-foot tall gentleman. And he seems to be wearing some kind of tuxedo.
Okay.
As a gentleman would.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, and
Said gentleman.
And he seems to be comprised of some kind of like a maybe solid smoke, if you will.
Sure.
So maybe related to the groom's family. And he walks out and he looks over and he says,
Nice shot.
yes.
Hi.
Fist bump, I guess? I don't know.
Al Cinder, uncle of the groom.
Oh, thank you. You guys have been great guests here. It's wonderful to have more variety of people, you know?
You look healthier than many of the people I see.
Sometimes they like to keep the living around. We like to keep it low-key, otherwise people freak out. But, you know, they pay me pretty good. I know it's not brave or smart, maybe, to be here, but...
Meanwhile, you two are over approaching the shadowy figure underneath of the colonnade.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Eye on the prize.
Yep.
So you hear kind of a disturbing snoring sound coming from.
Like
Is
sleep
it a
apnea?
familiar, a familiar dragon noise?
Yeah, possibly. It's a slumbering dragon. Yeah, with some sleep apnea. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Well, you said disturbing, so I was like, oh, it stopped. Okay, it's going again.
Anything with that much resonance when you're close enough, disturbing.
Right.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So
You
we'll
feel
have
it in
to.
your chest.
How's that dragon looking?
Well, it's looking like it has wings.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's a kind of a Western style, barrel chest, razor talons, long neck. Yeah.
Is it tethered in any way?
It doesn't seem to be tethered.
Okay.
How, comparatively, how large is this dragon?
Oh, it's quite large. If you were to take like 3 elephants and then cut one of the elephants in half and throw it away, about that big.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
What do you do with the other half?
Of the other half of
Yeah.
the elephant?
So
goes
it's
to the
less
next
disturbing.
dragon.
Can we
That's-
just imagine that it's 3 medium-sized elephants and maybe a small one?
Can we just lop off the
All
haunch
right,
of one?
sure.
Okay, well,
Okay.
anyway,
We're really dedicated to the
Big
half of
elephant.
the
the,
elephant.
the service end of the dragon seems to be employed in scorching swamp wood for some reason.
Scorching swamp wood.
Yep, there's several
They're
logs,
making hors d'oeuvres for the cinder
Fire
folk.
people.
thus indicating that the dragon seems to be capable of spraying fire out of its mouth. Perhaps.
Okay.
The fire people, or cinder kit, if you will.
Nice.
Well, it's asleep but still charring.
No, it was set up to be doing that, and apparently it's napping in between. It's
Okay.
no one's operating the dragon right now.
Well, we should probably start.
So
Fly the dragon at it.
there's
Yeah.
no restraints. So this dragon stays by its own volition.
Right.
This is
So-
very big, and it can breathe fire. I'm just saying the things we know.
Right.
Right.
I'm going. This is not usually my job. I've been brought in as a sort of consult on this particular repo, and so I'm going to ask NameLess. How do you usually transport a dragon?
Well, you get on them and you fly away.
Oh,
So
perfect.
let's do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a relatively new business.
I think-
the how one would do these sort of things is we're figuring it out as we
Right,
go.
yeah.
And we're all a little foggy anyway.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
I think Dirk is already climbing on top of that dragon.
Sure.
Okay.
So all right.
We should probably talk
So-
to the dragon, man.
No.
You-
Okay.
Next time on Haste, a game of Dum-Dums and Dragons.
The dragon comes down into the groom's section, which is empty, as we had mentioned, and the chairs just get scattered everywhere as the dragon lands there, and it kind of stretches and tweaks its neck a little.
Sweetheart, did you see what I did today?
you did so good.
Excuse me, if you could please get off my shoulders.
Says the dragon.
Oh, we should try tatting with
On one
it.
of these, this will be easier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or harder.
Yeah, we'll see.
I'm your host, MC and editor of Haste the Game Show, Tristian Spillman. And my wife helped do a little bit. Thanks honey. Thanks, Katrina.